Yo, Kpaceguy here. What's going on YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. Now today I have in front of you two Dolby Atmos speakers. Now they're very similar and they're very different. And I had a subscriber ask me to make a video on the two, and I'm happy to do so. So what we have in front of you on the black side here, we have the SVS Prime Elevations. On the white team here, we have the Canton AR800s. Now these are both fantastic Dolby Atmos speakers, and they're very versatile and they sound really good. But what I want to do today is talk about what the differences is between something like the Prime Elevations and something like the Canton AR800, because you can get both types from different manufacturers, Klipsch, Definitive Technology, KEF, and so on and so forth. Everybody has their own spin on Dolby Atmos modules. So I want to talk about both of these and share with you what I've learned the differences between the two are and what benefits one may have over another, and ultimately help you decide, if you're looking for Atmos speakers, which one should you get. So let's go ahead and get right into it. We're going to start with the Prime Elevations here and get into the specs. So the first thing I want to note, of course, is that this is the piano black version. They do have a black ash version and a white gloss version. Now the black ash will be the cheapest at $199 for one, or I think $399. And then if you want the black ash, or excuse me, if you want the piano black gloss or the white gloss, it's $249 for one. So of course you got to get two of them if you want two of them. So again, black ash is $199. The white gloss or the piano black gloss is $249. It's a little bit more for a nicer finish, but the overall cosmetics and all will be the same. Let's talk about the footprint, of course. So this is a relatively small speaker. It's 9 1/4 height, 5.4 inches wide, and 7.9 inches deep. So it's not a very big speaker, and its deepest point is going to be on the bottom here because it gets a little bit fatter towards the cone. It is a removable grill. They're not magnetic at all. They do have pegs to put your the holes for the pegs to put them in, but you guys can get a good look at the driver there. The driver is going to be a 4.5 mid-range with a 1-inch tweeter, and you can expect to get around 55 hertz up to 25 kilohertz with this, plus or minus 3 dB. Now it is ported on the back side, so it does help reinforce some of that bass. So most likely you're going to have this pressed up against the wall or on top of a speaker, and so that's going to help bring out some of that bass that this 4.5-inch driver won't be able to reproduce on its own. So it does help restore some of that bass. And why is that important? Well, Atmos effects are thunder, it's gunshots, it's planes flying by. It could very well be a lot of bass that you need. Of course, your subwoofer will take care of most of that, but it does help the driver out and allow it to perform a little bit louder and play a little bit lower than, say, maybe something that was sealed. This is how this speaker looks and works. Now on the back side, you did have your binding post. It has banana plugs, but I'll tell you right now, you will not be able to use banana plugs if you're going to mount these on the wall, because your banana plugs will stick too far out and your speaker won't sit flush. It does come with a mounting bracket that I do have on the wall, and this is how you will place your speakers on the wall or the ceiling. A bracket that comes with the speaker. Very nice to have. It's sturdy, it's solid construction, it's good stuff here. Now this Prime Elevation is very versatile. Like I said, you can mount this against the wall with the provided bracket, and you can also turn this whatever direction you want to turn it. So if you wanted to fire it down this way, you can. If you wanted to fire it sideways, you could. If you wanted to hang it this way, you could. And the cool part of this little Easter egg, the emblem here turns different directions depending on which way you have your speaker. It's magnetic, so you can take it off and flip it around if you need to, and then you can have it facing the right direction. Now for me, I have mine firing down as Dolby Atmos speakers on the wall, so mine's going to be turned upside down. But other than that, that's how the speaker works. You can use it as Dolby Atmos speaker, you can use it as a bookshelf speaker, you can use it as a module speaker on top of another speaker if you want to, and have it firing up towards the ceiling. Very, very versatile speaker. And it can do a lot for only $249 for one. So it's not bad at all. Now the power handling of the Prime Elevation is between 50 to 150 watts. So it's actually a relatively powerful speaker. So you're going to have no problem powering these with maybe an amplifier of your choice, or if you're using receiver power, any receiver are going to be able to power these speakers no problem. So it's a really good speaker and not a lot of money, and it can really enhance your experience with the Dolby Atmos section. Now moving on to the white team, the Canton AR800s. Now this speaker is designed similarly, but there are some key differences that make one maybe more better than the other, or maybe worse. We'll see. The first thing to note is that the grill is magnetic on the Canton ARs. So you do have a magnetic grill, just pops on and pops right off, but you don't have the ability to change the logo at the bottom. It's going to face one way, it's stuck on there. Now this speaker here retails for $5.99, and you can get this in either white, gloss white, or gloss black, but it doesn't have like a black ash option. Now Canton does have different models of Dolby Atmos speakers, but this one here specifically is the AR800, which is their top Atmos speaker that they have right now. So they're going to give you their best work out of this speaker. Now the design is much different. With the prime elevations, you didn't have the ability to turn it upside down or angle it differently or even use it as a bookshelf. This is dedicated only for the Dolby Atmos side of things. And you can use this only one of two ways. One way, you can mount it on the back, onto your wall. On the back side, there is a keyhole slot where you just put a screw into a wall and you just stick it on there like a picture frame and it sticks on just fine. Also has your binding post with the options for banana plugs. Again, you won't want to use banana plugs with these because they won't sit flat on the wall anymore. But same setup on both. Now with this speaker, you can either mount it on flat on the wall like we just saw, or we can sit it on top of a floor standing speaker, maybe a bookshelf. You can sit it on top and fire them up. Now the difference between the Prime Elevation and the Canton AR800 is that these are able to be used as, stereo speakers. You can use them as bookshelves or whatever you want to do. These are made only for Dolby Atmos based off of design. You can either lay them flat on your speaker like you see here, or you can hang them on the wall and they'll sit like this, firing down towards your listening position. But they're not made to be a standalone speaker system. Although you could, they would sit just like this on maybe a shelf or a stand, but your speakers will be fired upward ever so slightly, so that's not something that we want. Now this driver here is 6.1 inches big. Now if you remember, this one here was 4.5, so you're getting a bigger overall driver, but you don't have a port anywhere on this speaker. So this is a sealed enclosure versus a ported enclosure. But the frequency response is actually deeper on this one than this one. So with the Prime Elevations, you had a handling of 50 watts up to 150 watts. With the Canton ARs, you have a handling of 60 watts up to 100 watts. So you don't get as much wattage into this one as you would this one, but this has a nominal wattage, a little more powerful than this one. So you'll need a pretty good receiver, pretty decent amplifier to power these, a little bit more than maybe these, but any receiver should be fine, to be honest with you guys. Now with this extra driver, you're getting 50 hertz all the way up to 40,000 kilohertz. With this one, you weren't getting quite as low or quite as high. So this one's going to give you a more overall dynamic range. This one's going to be able to do more in the frequency spectrum than this one will. So more things will come alive with these. You'll be able to hear more. You'll be able to reach higher, especially with that bumblebee that flies past you. Maybe that fly. This will be more pronounced because it can reach higher than these. It can also dig slightly lower. All right, so which one should you go with if you're looking between, say, maybe a Canton AR or a Prime Elevations, or maybe you just want to know what's out there to choose from. Maybe you haven't heard of the Canton ARs and you're watching this video for the first time. Well, I'm going to tell you which one I like out of these two. But which one would I buy over the other? I favor the Cantons, but here's the reason why I would go for the Cantons over the Prime Elevations. The Cantons have a really warm musical sound, just in general, not just the speaker, but their whole line of Canton Ventos. They have a really, really nice sound signature. And before, I only had these in my system, but when I got these, it was, I don't want to say night and day difference, but the color and performance of these speakers just seemed just to slightly top these here. Not that these are bad whatsoever, but these here just seem to just bring the whole home theater home. It just makes it just click. I know like subwoofers and tuner channels are the most important speakers in a home theater system, but this just ties it all together. When I had these, I could hear them playing, but I felt myself turning them up very, very loud in the settings to get them to match with the rest of the system. Now it could just be my room, it could just be my design, but I had to crank these up rather loud to get them to match the volume level that I was seeing with the rest of my speakers. These here seem to be able to perform at the level that I want them to without having to boost the volume up so much, which is good on your AV receiver and good for your speaker. You don't want to clip your speaker, you don't want to push your AV receiver too hard just to get some volume out of these. So these seem to be easier to drive than these were. And I'm not sure if that's just the speaker or my room or my ears, but these just touched my ear just a little bit differently than this. Again, these are phenomenal and they're more versatile than these are. But the way these sound, I don't know what it is, to be very honest with you. I do not know what it is, but these just seem to be what I was looking for. Again, not that these are bad, but this just seems to tie my home theater together. So my money will go towards the Cantons because they are the same price. They look phenomenal. I love these just a little bit more. One big complaint that I have for the Prime Elevations, which is nitpicky because you kind of need this design, these stick out just a lot farther off the wall than say the Cantons do. If they hang up like this. Oh, I almost lost it. They hang up like this. So you can see the bass here versus the bass here. These still angle down at your listening position, but these just stick off the wall so much. So if you're trying to get a subtle look, if you have a wife that doesn't want big speakers in her home, or you don't want to look like a home theater system in your living room, these just stand out way too much for me. Speakers hanging from the ceiling isn't pretty. There's nothing pretty about it. For me, I wanted something subtle. These kind of sit more flush against the wall than these do. This has such a big trapezoidal bass looking design to them that they stick off the wall quite far. And so you can't help but see them hanging there. And even though they're pretty cosmetically, it's not pretty against your wall. Now these sit a little more flush, a little more subtle. I know they're white versus black, but I'm ruling that out and just looking at cosmetics only. I really think the Cantons should have a better design if you're looking for something minimalistic. Now again, these are more versatile, so you're going to get the ability to do Dolby Atmos, to do a bookshelf system, to do a LCR if you want to, left, center, right channel. You can do more of this. These are just made for Atmos in general. But if we're talking from an Atmos standpoint, the Cantons are the way to go. So for me, the Cantons are going to take this one. White team is going to win. I just really like the sound out of these. If nothing else mattered but the sound, I like the sound out of these. They seem to be more full. There's more presence and body to them. Presence is a big one. I can really hear these without cranking them up, and they're the farthest from me. These stay in the back of my room, and my couch is right here. So these are essentially above my head. And then these are in the front of the room, which is about another 15 feet away. And I can still hear these more times than not over these at the same volume level. So these are going to be what I choose to go with. So guys, if you wanted to know my opinion on this, I know it took a long time to get to this point, but this is my choice. This is the winner. Ding, 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 ding. So guys, take a look at both of these. I am an SVS affiliate. So if you choose your SVS ones here, please check the link down below. It'll take you straight to their site, straight to these speakers, and you can purchase whatever you would like to. Use my link down there. It helps the channel grow, helps me out, and of course you guys get the product. But if you're looking for the Cantons, they're absolutely great. Accessories for Less has these for $5.99. That's where I got mine. So check them out to get your Canton ARs. These things are absolutely great, guys. So sorry for the long video, but I wanted to give you guys in-depth on what I thought. And that's what I think, guys. So if you enjoyed this video, leave me a comment down below and let me know what you guys think of the Canton AR800s versus the Prime Elevations from SVS. Which one would you go with and why? Do you need a more versatile speaker that can do more? Or do you want a dedicated Dolby Atmos speaker that can either be put on top of a speaker or on the wall? What do you guys think about that? Leave me a comment down below. Let me know what you think. Leave a like if you enjoyed this video. And subscribe if you're not already. We will see you in the next video. Kpaceguy out. Peace.